whole. Of course, any life has many befores and afters. Before I could walk and after I could run. Before I could play the guitar and after I could play the piano. The first time I fell in love, and then after, when I realized there's not just one person on this earth that I could love beyond measure, but I'm talking about a really big before and a really big after. It happened one hot summer night in LA in 2003. I was hanging out with my then new girlfriend, Tammy. Tammy and I had started what felt like an easy breezy thing with no big intentions at the moment. I just wanted to get a little bit stoned and relax. My kids, Bailey and Beckett, were with their other mother, my former partner, Julie, and I was in a good mood. The long, drawn-out breakup with Julie felt like it might finally be ending. I'd bought a cool new house in Mandeville Canyon, and I was ready to put the past behind me, get on with my life, be a cool mom for my kids. I wanted only lightness, fun, a breather. So on this hot Saturday night, Tammy decided to make chocolate chip cookies. She happened to be a really good baker. Someone had given us some cannabis, so I suggested she add some to the batter. What the heck, right? I didn't actually see how much cannabis she had blended in with the chocolate morsels, but I do remember the heavenly sweet aroma as they began to bake. We were kicking back, listening to music and enjoying the cookies. Then I began to feel a shift, not an earthquake, more like a slow inner spin. I began to laugh as the room slowly melted away, and I felt keenly present. The music seemed louder and more intense, the lyrics being sung with greater clarity. My skin felt tingly, and a blanket of warmth moved over me as I relaxed deeply. Inside this deep state of relaxation, I was also super stimulated. I'd enjoyed cannabis before, but this night was different. Something big was happening. When my good friend and tour manager, Stephen, came by the house for me to sign some papers, I was sitting on the sofa, hysterically laughing. Stephen saw that there were no kids around, but he also saw something was up. I was usually not so out of my mind. Probably not a good time for me to sign anything, but I did. Tammy had pretty much passed out, and I helped her to bed. I looked up to find Stephen looking down at me, smiling. He took in the scene and laughed softly. He's one of my best friends and always has my back. He made sure I was okay, and then he left. I was alone. I'm not really a partier. I drank more than usual when I was with Julie, but for many years I barely touched alcohol. Julie and I had gotten into a pattern that I call auto-drinking, a habit that was yet another sign that she and I were so distant from each other, the alcohol and partying taking the place of any real love or intimacy. It wasn't hard for me to stop because I hated the way the alcohol made me feel. Hated waking up feeling fuzzy and not in sync with my body. The night I ate those chocolate chip cookies, I began to trip on a heroic dose of cannabis. A heroic dose is what one calls a significant amount of a substance that can create hallucinogenic effects. And boy, did those cookies pack a punch. Even though I wasn't moving, I felt like I was on a roller coaster. I was trying to relax with the ascent and brace myself for the sudden drops. Both giddy and afraid, I did not understand what was happening. I figured I was really high. That seemed pretty obvious. But it was a different kind of high. The quality of my attention was more intense. I was perceiving into my surroundings, not simply observing. It was a roller coaster of dizzying awareness. I remember the light from the outdoor patio slanting in through the windows, heightening the plush of the carpet. I ran my hands through the textured fabric on the sofa, feeling the sensation on my fingertips and finding it funny. I swear I could hear the texture and taste the color. I felt both in and outside of my body. I didn't want to move, but I had the sensation of moving and felt an electric energy course through me, pulsing my blood and quickening my breath. Despite all this movement within me, I was simultaneously very still. I had lost all sense of time. Was it still night? How long ago was Stephen here, minutes or hours? My body had lost its boundaries and seemed to have merged with the environment around me. It felt like I was not of my body, not restricted by it. Then I began to see my thoughts. Images of my life collided before me out of sequence, but with vivid clarity.